Unfortunately, it didn't last long. Luckily, the person that was doing it had a knife and not a gun, so it could have been a lot worse, but yeah. And that's not what I want, actually. I want that up. Oh, you son of... Hey? Trolling me, that guy. And I suppose the other thing too is because it was in Auckland, and Auckland's in a level 4 lockdown, happened at a supermarket, but probably not that many people were there, but it was just fortunate apparently. The guy was shot dead by the police. He was also on a watch list since 2016. So the authorities are well aware of this guy. But yeah, apparently like bystanders and all that were really quick to helping out all the people that got injured. So apart from that, I don't know much. I don't know how exactly. It was really weird. It looked like it was like 60 seconds or something it was happened. So don't know how the police were there that quick. Well, then again, in lockdown, I suppose they can get anywhere really quick because I don't have any traffic to contend with. But so. Yeah, I know I need to find a place to... That's the problem, I need to find a place. Gotta find a place to have a sleep. Of course, once we get to the delivery point, we've got to find one back all the way to Washington, which is going to be a bit of a problem because it's taken about an hour at the moment to get where we are now. So I have to see how long it takes us to get down there, and depending on how much time's left on the stream, I might have to lose a bit of money and head back to Seattle with a quick travel. Even if there is a delivery back to Washington somewhere. It's an international. Actually, I've got to have a look at that new truck, eh? I'll try and remember to have a look at it when we get back to, when we finish the delivery. Well, first and foremost, I need, I'll get in the other lane just in case there's while I'm doing that, let's have a look, see where there is a place to stay. Oh, right, it is here. Oh, lucky I decided to do that, eh? Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, you could have just sort of slowed down a little earlier than that, mate. You wouldn't need to hit the brakes so hard, especially in this wet weather, and I would have had a good indication you're about to do something. Where am I? Right. Oh, settle down, mate. Oh, I was here first. We've got plenty of space here. Hopefully we don't have a issue like we do with Spain and it won't pick up the... Oh, look at that. Straight away. Good old ATS over ETS any day. Whoops. Right, turn the wipers off, turn the lights off, turn the engine off, turn my eyes off. Let's go to sleep. Alright, high beam on, I do. What gear we got? That's not the gear I'm looking for. Okay, I was trying to be sneaky. It was alright getting over it and at a bit of speed, but obviously it's not going to let me do it. Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's find a new route.
Nighttime driving for about 4 hours. We are 12 hours away. I've got, so we should make it in this trip anyway. I can turn that off. I was just getting rid of the droplets on the windscreen wiper, windscreen. So yeah. Anyway, it's been an interesting day to say the least. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could bring the console commands up and stuff like that, but even in my like private plays and stuff, I don't turn it off because I just the realism, I just got something about it. It doesn't feel right turning it off. I turn it off if I have a problem like I did the other day, or yesterday, well no, last week actually, where I couldn't get the trigger to work. In that case, I'll turn it off because there's no way I'm going to crash or get fines or anything because of shoddy workmanship on the map side of things. Yeah, but I prefer to have it on just for the realism. But with this, it's a bit of a pain, I know. Actually, you're making me think about that now. And I'm going to say Cozzy, because I can't, it's just way too long, too much energy for me. So if you don't mind, if I can call you Cozzy can't. For short. But yeah, you're making me think about doing that actually. If I can sleep during the night and drive all through the day. I didn't realise you could still sleep the fatigue off.
Stay left.
Yeah, I might do that actually. In the next stream. Obviously just to make it even on both of them. I'll give that a go.
Stay left.
And that way we can make sure we can have daytime driving. I'm just thinking, is there any cons about it though? I suppose the only thing is the whole point is to see which one to make money quickest of the gameplay. And it's part of the gameplay, so it's turning it off actually, but I suppose if I turn it off they're still equal. It shouldn't really affect which one is better to make money on, isn't it? Because they're still under the same conditions of both if I'm doing both. And I can allocate a time. Or actually allocating the time's not a good idea with the mods that I've got, the season mods, because they sunset varies on the mod I'm using. Sunrise and sunset times vary. And of course also it depends where I am, because Iceland, if I go to Iceland, it doesn't go night time there. Full night time anyway. Yes you can, I think. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It should be fine, but as long as I go to sleep at sort of dusk or something like that. But like I said, if I end up in Iceland, in fact some of the very tip of Finland and Sweden and that, you don't really get that much of a night time, and when you do it's not that dark. But yeah, from memory, Iceland though, I don't think you get any darkness. Yes, phone. I love it. The phone always tells me the same information that I've already been told multiple times. I don't need to know it. Obviously, if I wanted to use it, I would have pressed the button. Yeah, I suppose actually that's the thing too. I've got to pick a time to go to sleep where I can wake up during the day and find a happy medium. Obviously, I won't be able to wake up. If I wake up in daylight, then I'm going to be driving quite a bit at night. I've just got to remember how many hours you sleep in the games, and I'm not sure if ATS's sleep time's the same amount of time as the ETS one either. Look, keep reminding me, Causey, and when I next sleep in this one, I'll take note of the time, see how long I sleep, and then next week I'll check how long I sleep for an ETS. Might be able to Google it actually, it'll be save me even time. And if I can work in the best time to go to sleep at night. Obviously I'm going to wake up during a bit of darkness, but even if it's just an hour or two in darkness driving, the rest during the day, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I could use console commands if I enabled them, but my only thing is I'm not sure, which I could probably check easily enough, is whether or not me changing the time and forwarding the time affects the delivery, you know? I think your way won't affect the delivery time of being late. I mean, we definitely tried. I mean, I've said a few times with this competition, obviously it's the first time I'm doing this. There's going to be kinks to be ironed out, things to be sorted. And at some stage I'll probably come back and do it again. Once we finalise it all and being able to do it with a finalised way of doing everything. We're pretty much there now, but we've had like, cause we come up with a good idea that we could add. Well, we can have a look when we get to the delivery point, if you remind me. It's definitely doubles. See? Definitely doubles. Right, how far are we now? Another 9 hours to go. So we're going to spend about 7 hours in daylight. I mean, I suppose the bonus for driving at this time of night is the factor in California. They're not missing much. Oh, that's probably got me into trouble with some people. I'm joking though. I mean, I don't mind it because when ATS came out, and California's all I really much drive, so I've seen plenty of it to last me a lifetime, because it started off in San Francisco, was my first base consistently starting off in San Francisco. In fact, everyone I know, and I played multiplayer with their base, everyone had a base in San Francisco. Because there was the only 3 maps when it first came out, wasn't it? So I think it was, if I remember rightly, it was California, Arizona, I think, Nevada. The best part will be in daylight, yeah, when I hit the border. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. I mean, admittedly, I would drive a lot more in California. What really gets on my nerves with California is just the 55 mile per hour speed limit. This is how pedantic I am. I would literally would be fine if it was 60 miles an hour. Oh, really? I suppose I've got to redo it. I mean, they've redone a lot in ETSA. I'd need a Lotus truck so you can figure that reference out. Well, new scenery too, so I'm always interested to see what they've done. Let's have a look, check their GPS to see where the nearest gas station is. Oh, just here, is it? Is that my imagination, or is there a petrol station right there on the map? Oh, look at that. Timing.
Finding new route.
No, you don't need to find a new route. Stop it.
Turn right.
Actually, feel free to find a new route. I should be thankful that I'll still have some fuel in my tank now to be able to drive on that new route, which happens to be the old route we were originally going down. Alright, some wild bean coffee, thank you. Would go down a treat. No, this is a GP. I really wish I could find a realistic garage station, a real gas station names mod for this. I've got one for ETs, but I don't have it for this one. Stop the engine first before I fill it up. And then press the right button to do it. Tell you what, since it's so close to my normal, well, 9 minutes, but close enough to my normal intermission time, I might go off and make a coffee now before we get started again. Yeah, there's a realistic mods for both of them too with the prices of fuel, isn't there? But I just love to have the real garage names and stuff. There was a mod that did it, but it hasn't been kept up to date and no longer works. Which is an absolute shame. Absolute shame. So yeah, no, that's what I'll do. I'll go and make my coffee now, have the intermission before we get going. And instead of like pausing it halfway down the road, being only about 8 minutes away. So I'll do that. As usual, I'll run an ad while I'm doing that, and I'll be back after I've made the coffee. So hopefully you guys will still be here, or you won't be here. Go and make yourself a coffee if you want. If you want a coffee, you can always put the coffee emote in. Like I said, I'll try and get it to you. If I've got enough coffee left over, I'll send it over. Obviously it'll be iced coffee by the time you get it, but I'll send it over. Just leave your address and your bank account details in chat. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Well, I won't be. Well, I will be. I don't know which second, but I will be back in a second. See you in a bit. Right. No, I don't do tea, mate. Don't touch the stuff. Coffee, black only. So, in case you haven't noticed, I'm back. And back on the road. You get right buttons pressed here. Oh, okay. Thanks for having me back. No, mate. I went off tea years ago. I went from, I used to drink quite a bit of it. Actually, way back when I grew up, tea was more the preferred drink than coffee was.
Right.
Which is ironic because we actually do really good coffees and known for doing really good coffees these days. Yeah, and I used to have the old standard milk and 2 sugars. And then I went to no sugars, and then I went to no tea. Damn it, you're not going to let me in, are you? Oh, you are going to let me in. You're a champ, mate. Thanks for that. You hold up the whole interstate for me. Oh, yeah, beer. Yeah, and same with me coffees. I went from what we call a state house coffee. I won't explain that. Well, actually, state houses are houses that were built by the government because back in the 50s in this country, it was almost a #1 priority of this country's government, and it was for a while up until about the 80s, that everyone should have a house. So they built houses. And I probably jumped into that gear a little too early, didn't I? And those houses were called state houses because obviously they're made by the state. And yeah, so pretty much everyone had the same type of coffee, which is milk and 2 sugars. But I did this diet years ago, tried this diet out. It's a 2-week diet. I lost 12 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. I have no clue. 12 kilos in 2 weeks, which is quite a bit, I can tell you that much. And this diet sort of reset the metabolism as well. Yeah, but they're no longer doing that because our homeless state has sort of jumped up and our poverty line sort of dropped quite a bit, or risen, whatever it is. There's more poverty and more homeless people than there ever was nowadays, and there's a housing shortage. But yeah. But yeah, I did the diet for 2 weeks, and it was a really, really good diet. It reset your metabolism. You could eat whatever you wanted for the next 3 years, and you wouldn't put on weight. And I didn't really need to do the diet. I wasn't overweight. But yeah, I lost 12 kilos, and that was quite interesting. Didn't feel it though. Until I picked up something that was, they used to fill LPG bottles, which I think in America you know them as propane. And they're 9 kilo bottles, which is, actually I'm trying to remember, some of the bottles had it in pound, it wasn't 40 pounds? I'm not sure. Yeah, and I didn't realise, my boss at the time said that, you know, that's almost, you lost more than the 9 kilos that you put into a thing. And when you filled up a empty bottle with 9 kilos of gas, the weight difference was quite noticeable, really heavy. And that's when I realised, geez, I actually lost quite a bit of weight. That's really when it sort of put it into perspective for me. But part of the diet, I could only drink water or have black coffee.
I'll find a new route.
So, and after I did the 2 weeks, for some reason I did it in December, and the last day was Christmas Day, so I couldn't eat anything on Christmas Day except for what the diet said, and it actually had set. Oh, did it say I could bypass? No. It must have. Okay. Oh, right up top there. Bypass. Well, that's me busy talking and not paying attention again. See, just like a prisoner straight out of prison. Used to the routine. That's what that is, the constant having to pop in. You know, that's the second one in a row, isn't it? No, I've actually, it's been even. One in, one out, one in and one out so far. Wow. Was that in the update? They reduced the... Did everyone complain about how many times they had to stop to be weighed? So, yeah, anyway, I ended this diet on Boxing Day. And what a great job you're doing. Because I've completely missed it. So the first thing I did, I had to work Boxing Day, it was in my contract. I got to work and I made a coffee how I used to have it, which was with milk and 2 sugars. And I was looking forward to it. And I'm also not a big fan of water. I don't like the taste of water. So I was looking forward, we had these drinks that Aqua Shots are called. And there was another brand similar to it, but it's basically water with a little minute flavouring in it, like mandarin or orange or something like that, lime or lemon. But it's just really, really faint taste. And I used to drink those as well. And so the first thing I did is I got into work, I made my coffee, and I went to put the coffee to my lips to take a sip. And all I could smell, and still do now when anyone makes it like that, is curdled milk. That's all I could smell, is curdled milk. And it's disgusting. Then I thought, you know what, that makes sense, because you're putting hot water on top of milk when you make a coffee. Generally when you do that without stirring it, and if you're cooking and you put it into a hot pot, it curdles. So yeah, and it tastes so sugary, so I've never had it since. I've always had my coffees black now. And then I went and got one of those drinks. One of those drinks that you could only faintly taste the flavouring in it, and my goodness, when I drank it after that diet, it was overpowering, that flavour. It was just Oh, it was all I could taste was the flavour. It was really sweet. It's like one of those, I assume every country sort of has a similar thing. We've got this thing called Raro here, which is a powder, and you got different flavours like orange juice, grapefruit, lemonade, and all that kind of stuff, and you just add water to them and stir it. And they're generally pretty sweet. I mean, yeah, depending on the mixture you do, but mostly they can be pretty sweet, and it was sweet as, it was just that sweet. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. Oh, Aussie, I might have figured out how you came across my stream, sir. If you're still here, you said you wouldn't be here for long, so I haven't seen you. Well, 4 minutes ago or so.
Stay left.
I will stay left if you want to. There's your palm trees, whoever said no, I haven't seen the palm trees. I said I figured it out. I didn't say I was going to tell you. Oh, right, I'll tell you. I was having a conversation with this friend of mine, Aussie, and he asked me, he said, who's that Aussie cocky guy? The name sounds familiar. I think he used to be known as something else, and he was a patron of mine. I went, oh, okay. That's nice. Didn't think much more of it. Then I was watching one of his videos today, and I noticed a comment that you left on his videos. Talking about whether or not buying Farming Simulator when it comes out. And since we're normally attached at the hip, I could only imagine that's how... Yeah, I did. Actually, I was actually going to like it too, but I was in the middle of dealing with everything. I was watching it on my phone, and I was trying to do multiple things at once. I'll go back and do that. I generally do like comments that I like. So, yeah. So I'm guessing it was through Duck that he sort of found me. Are you in his Discord? Well, you got the computer thing in it. It's you that's got the computer thing. But he reckoned you used to be under a different name as well. Did you? Actually, speaking of Discords, anyone in chat who wants to be bored and actually doesn't want to be irritated by a Discord channel, you can join mine. Hardly anything goes on in it. Mainly because there's not many people in it at the moment, so... But if you do, you can just type in ! Discord, that'll give you a link, and you're quite welcome to join and chat away.
Stay left.
Occasionally I drop in there and get on the voice channel and do a bit of go live. And also, if any of you guys that are watching at the moment, Mike, Cozzy and Aussie, I know Aussie, you got a... Yeah, fair enough. But, yeah, if you... Mike, I've known you from Fifth Chord for a very long time, obviously, and Cozzy, you've been an absolute treat in chat and getting to know you and stuff like that. And I know both of you guys aren't subscribed, but if you want to and you do have the opportunity and have, well, I know, Mike, you've got the game, ever want to join the Farming Sim multiplayers, you're quite welcome to as well. Just if you join the Discord just give me a DM and let me know, and I'll give you the permission to see the channel that has all the info and the mod downloads and everything else like that, and you're quite welcome to join. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, Shaggy. Watch where you're driving there. I said Shaggy because I couldn't remember the other guy's name. I remember Velma and Daphne. I can't remember the other guy's name and that. Oh, okay.
Stay left.
Yeah, his unfortunate hiatus was forced upon him. Yeah, it's good to see him back with the farming sim ones, though. And actually that other game too, that early access game that's sort of like Banish. It's quite enjoyable to watch.